let's welcome back. Let's just jump into what is happening right now, because an ultimate irony, an unprecedented situation has just taken place, even though it might just be one of the small stories in a larger election battle that is certainly coming to a culmination. But that irony, ladies and gentlemen, will not go away. It is literally hashtag Gandhi's vote Aam Aadmi Party. For the first time ever, you would have seen Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi pressing their vote for not the hand symbol, but for the Jhadu symbol of Arvind Kejriwal's party. That irony is going to stay with us. Voter turnout figures, meanwhile, we're going to put at the bottom of our screens so we can register what the developments are. It's been pretty sparse in Delhi this morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in Delhi, I understand, of course, it's hot. Let's hope that everybody comes out and votes. We don't want to see disappointing voter turnout figures in Delhi. You're seeing the former president casting his vote as we speak. The current president has already cast a vote. And you'll be seeing a lot of course, the constitutional heads casting their vote in Delhi, where they're registered voters, because their residences are as we speak. Let's open up the conversation to our reporters joining us so that we get a perspective in from different constituencies. We reported from 200 constituencies in the past 1 month in this Lok Sabha elections. As we speak, Akshit is joining us and Vipin Parmar is joining us. We're going to have all those people put across together. Let me get our PCR crew to come and put their ducks in a row so that we can open this up. Akshit, meanwhile, help us understand, Akshit, in New Delhi, what are people thinking? What's the issue this morning?
Rishabh, political temperature in Sirsa is also rising now because certainly 8% voter turnout has been there. Well, quickly I will just, try to speak out to some voters out here. You can see. So, आपने क्या कुछ मुद्दों पे आज वोट डाला है?
किस चीज़ के लिए?
क्या कुछ मुद्दे दिमाग में रखे हैं जब आपने वोट डाला है?
ये देश की सेवा के लिए वोट अपना हक है, इसलिए हक के अपने इच्छा अनुसार वोट डालना चाहिए और जो भी उम्मीदवार चुनना है वो अपने मन से चुनो, किसी के कहने पे मत चलो, वोट डालो अपने मन से डालो।
आप बताइए, आप युवा हैं, क्या कुछ मुद्दे रखते हैं दिमाग में जब वोट डालते हैं?
मुद्दे सबसे बड़ा तो देश के अंदर मुद्दा ये है कि बेरोजगारी का, ठीक है। आज के दिन हर वर्ग का इंसान इस चीज़ को भली भांति जानता है कि सबसे बड़ा कारण हमारे हिंदुस्तान में बेरोजगारी का ही है। इस तरह और तो मौजूदा सरकार बिल्कुल ध्यान नहीं दे रही है। दूसरा, अगर हमारे शहर के ऊपर आ जाएं, सिरसा शहर से मैं बिलोंग करता हूं, हरियाणा के अंदर जो सिरसा ज़िला है, यहाँ के 2017 के अंदर 700-800 परिवारों को हरियाणा सरकार बीजेपी ने उठाया था। जिस समय उठाया था उनको बड़ा ही एक अच्छा आश्वासन दिया था कि 2 महीने के अंदर आपको परमानेंट स्थायी तौर पे दे दिया जाएगा। हाई कोर्ट का आदेश था कि आपको 2 महीने बाद।
चलिए मैं उस पर आऊँगा। सर, आप भी बताइए, क्या कुछ मुद्दे हैं सिरसा के और क्या कुछ आपने दिमाग में रखा जब आपने वोट डाला?
सिरसा का मुद्दा ये है जी, हमारा झुग्गी झोंपड़ी चंगी बली थेड़ पर गली हुई थी। किसी ने कितने पैसे लगाए, किसी ने कितने पैसे लगाए थे कि आज दे देंगे, कल दे देंगे। आज कम से 5-6 साल हो गए जी, हमारे को कुछ भी नहीं मिला।
आप भी बताइए। ओके, सम पीपल आर एक्चुअली शाई टू स्पीक आउट। वी विल आस्क सम मोर पीपल। आप बताइए सर, क्या कुछ मुद्दे हैं जो दिमाग में रख के आज वोट डाला? जी मैम, आप बताइए, एक महिला होने के नाते क्या कुछ आप सरकार से उम्मीद रखती हैं कि सरकार आने वाले सालों में काम करेगी?
जो काम करेगी उसी को वोट देंगे।
तो अभी क्या मुद्दे दिमाग में रखे?
मुद्दे तो कई हैं, फिर सरकार कर तो नहीं रही।
So of course, Rishabh, you heard out there the voters speaking out. Certainly some are saying that unemployment is also one of the key issues which is there in Sirsa. And as we know, Sirsa is known for its varied waterways, which actually...
Okay, so in that specific constituency, in that specific polling booth, in that specific line, okay, you heard a few unhappy voices, unhappy with the situation. Javed Hussain is standing by in East Delhi. Kanika Katiyar, meanwhile, is in New Delhi. Vipin is joining us from Ambala. Vipin, let me hop across to you. What are people discussing on the ground in Ambala?
At its peak, but the people, they are these enthusiastic voters are coming out. You can see the long queues outside these polling stations. Since morning, what we are seeing over here at Ambala, that people, they are coming out as what we witnessed in first 4 or 5 phases of the voting. There were, people, the percentage was not that high, but now it has come to Haryana, and you can see that people since morning, they are, starting at 7 a.m. They came out from their houses, and it's approximate 41 degrees Celsius at 10 a.m. But people, they are very much eager to, cast their vote. They are very much eager to, use their particular right. And you can see that these people, they have already, those issues in their particular mind on which they'll be, they'll be casting the vote. Sir, क्या कहेंगे? कौन से मुद्दे जो हैं वो आज दिमाग में रखकर जो है वोट करने की तैयारी?
हमारा इंडिया का विकास हो रहा है और विकास चल रहा है, उसमें विकास का मुद्दा है, बेरोजगारी का मुद्दा है। और
आप क्या कहेंगे सर? आप भी कतार में खड़े हैं, बेशक गर्मी है, लेकिन आप आए हैं घर से बाहर, कौन से मुद्दे जो है वो ध्यान में रखकर वोट करेंगे?
मुद्दे कोई खास नहीं है। मुद्दे ये है कि बस लोग, बेरोजगारी है, बढ़ती जा रही है दिन प्रतिदिन। सोच रहे हैं कि बस अब नौकरी का जो है और
You can see that former Home Minister of the state, Anil Vij, has also arrived at this particular polling station. He'll be casting his vote. Let me hop across to him. I'll speak to Anil Vij, sir. What will be the key issues? You have come all the way to this polling station, all these people standing in a long queues. What will be the key issues for you, which you'll be keeping in mind before pressing the button of?
देखिए, ये प्रजातंत्र का पर्व है। सब भारतवासियों को मतदान दिवस की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। और इस चुनाव में लोग देश के विकास के लिए वोट डाल रही है, और सही मानों में तो मोदी जी खड़े हैं, उनके मुकाबले में कोई खड़ा नहीं है। तो एक तरफा चुनाव है ये। क्या
कहेंगे सर? विपक्ष को कहीं देखते हैं जो प्रचार जिस तरीके से हुआ है? So you heard the former Home Minister of the state, Anil Vij, who have just come to this polling station, and he'll be casting his vote. But you see, this is the beauty of the democracy, that these people, without caring about the heat, without, thinking about the temperature, the humidity, they have come all across at this particular polling station. They'll be casting their vote in a while, and, they have those issues in their particular mind. They are, these voters, they, continuously they are speaking about the issues, the development issue, and other issues for which they'll be voting.
All right, Vipin. All right, we got a flavor there. Ratan Lal Kataria had 2 thumping victories in 2014 and 2019 from Ambala for the Bharatiya Janata Party. He won by, I think, 4 lakh votes both time around. His wife Banto Kataria has been put up against Varun Chaudhary of the Congress. So it's an interesting battle. The BJP is hoping that this is one that they should win. Way back in 2009, Selja Kumari of the Congress had won from here. She has, of course, been sent in to contest in a different constituency by the party this time around to take on the Bharatiya Janata Party. So she's not there. So the BJP, of course, hoping to retain this seat. By what turnout majority, we'll see very, very shortly. Okay. Let's take an opportunity to hop across to East Delhi, where Javed, my colleague, is standing by. Javed, ठंडा माहौल लग रहा है वहाँ पर? क्या नंबर में लोग आ रहे हैं? कैसा चल रहा है? क्या बोल रहे हैं मतदाता?
जी देखिए, जिस तरीके से दिल्ली में जो टेम्परेचर हाई है, टेम्परेचर इस वक्त 39 डिग्री से ज्यादा है, उसी तरीके से लोगों में उसी तरीके का जोश है। और यहाँ पर सुबह से ही चिल्ला गांव है, जहाँ पे अभी कुछ देर पहले अरुण सिंह आए थे, जो कि बीजेपी से है, राज्यसभा सांसद है। उन्होंने कहा कि आम आदमी पार्टी और कांग्रेस भले एक साथ अलायंस लड़ रही हो, लेकिन उनके पास कोई मुद्दा नहीं है, ना ही वो बीजेपी को इससे कोई फर्क पड़ता है, क्योंकि बीजेपी है वो अपने मुद्दे पे चुनाव लड़ रही है। और देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे तमाम, सबसे अच्छी बात यह है कि यहाँ पर मोस्टली जो सीनियर सिटीजन है वो लोग यहाँ पर वोट डालने के लिए सुबह से ही, उनकी ज्यादातर लंबी लाइनें हैं। और दिल्ली पुलिस की तरफ से बहुत बड़ी फैसिलिटीज दी गई है कि उनको व्हील चेयर, और जो दिल्ली पुलिस के साथ के जो लोग हैं वो उनको सपोर्ट करके आगे तक जो पोलिंग बूथ है वहां तक ले जा रहे हैं। तो यहाँ पर नंबर्स ऑफ जो लोग हैं, सोसाइटी जो यहाँ पर आमतौर पर ये पूरी सोसाइटी का इलाका है चिल्ला गांव का, यहाँ पर दिल्ली पुलिस के जो लोग हैं वो व्हील चेयर्स के साथ साथ लोगों को जो फैसिलिटीज है वो प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं। मेरे पीछे ये आप जो ये रूम देख रहे हैं, ये स्कूल का रूम है। यहाँ पर कुछ कमरे बनाए गए कि जो अगर जो फैमिली आ रही है जिनके घर पे सिर्फ हस्बैंड वाइफ है, उनके पास बच्चा है, तो बच्चे को यहाँ पर कुछ देर रुकने का इंतजाम किया गया है और उसके बाद जो पेरेंट्स है वो जाकर वोट डाल रहे हैं। इसके अलावा ये जो पूरा इलाका है, देखिए यहाँ पर अभी तक जो है 30% से ज्यादा जो लोगों की भीड़ है वो आ चुकी है। हालांकि टेम्परेचर इस वक्त ज्यादा है दिल्ली में, लेकिन उसका
ओके जावेद, कोशिश करेंगे टू गेट सम वॉइसेस ऑफ द वोटर्स। माहौल तो ठीक ही लग रहा है, गर्मी दिल्ली में है, सबको पता है, ठीक है। सो लेट्स ट्राई टू गेट सम वॉइसेस इन। East Delhi is where Javed is standing. Gautam Gambhir won that last time with a thumping victory once again. He won by almost 4 lakh votes in that election. It is a seat in which last time around Atishi Singh had been pit up against Gautam Gambhir. Arvinder Singh Lovely, who then later became Delhi president for the Congress party, then subsequently has now joined the Bharatiya Janata Party, was contesting against Gautam. Between the two of them, had they been together or had there been one seat, they had 5 lakh votes. So it would have been a much closer contest, but the BJP would have still won by 2 lakh votes. This time it is Harsh Malhotra, the Bharatiya Janata Party versus Kuldeep Kumar. So complete fresh faces from across the board. It's a seat which has been won by Sandeep Dixit in the past for the Congress. He won twice. It's a seat that HKL Bhagat used to hold for the Congress way back in the 80s. So an interesting battle going on. Last 2 terms it has gone to the Bharatiya Janata Party. The party will be hoping that they get it for a third term once again. The shots which you're watching is Rahul Gandhi sitting on the footpath outside a polling booth. Let me take the opportunity of hopping across to Kanika. Kanika, what are the updates literally from the Election Commission?
देखिए ऋषभ, बिल्कुल मेरी मौजूदगी उस पोलिंग बूथ पे है निर्माण भवन, जहां पर अब से कुछ देर पहले राहुल गांधी और सोनिया गांधी ने अपना वोट कास्ट किया था और आप डिस्कस भी कर रहे थे, क्योंकि पहली बार ऐसा हुआ है कि गांधी फैमिली जो है वो हाथ को बल्कि वोट नहीं कर रही है, लेकिन झाड़ू को कर रही है, यानी कि आम आदमी पार्टी को कर रही है, क्योंकि दिल्ली में दोनों का अलायंस है। उसके अलावा मेरे साथ एक फर्स्ट टाइम वोटर है इसी पोलिंग बूथ पे, इनसे बात कर लेते हैं। क्या नाम है आपका?
मेरा नाम नवीन पासवान है।
ठीक है नवीन, आप फर्स्ट टाइम वोट करने वाले हैं?
मैम, फर्स्ट टाइम वोटर।
ठीक है, क्या कोर इश्यूज रहेंगे, क्या सोचकर इस बार आप वोट करने वाले हैं?
कोर इश्यूज ये रहेंगे कि जो मेजर्स पार्टीज हैं हमारे यहाँ पे, तो उनके जो भी वादे रहे हैं पिछले टाइम और इस टाइम पे जो वादे लेकर आ रहे हैं, कितने हद तक वो पूरा कर पाएंगे, उसको लेकर हम इस बार वोट डालना चाहेंगे। इस बार मेरे ख्याल से मतदाताओं की सूची भी बड़ी है। इस बार दिल्ली में भी शायद जो है काफ़ी लोग रुचि डाल रहे हैं मतदाताओं को लेके। दोनों पार्टियों जो मेजर पार्टीज हैं उनके मैनिफेस्टो।
यूथ पे आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ, एम्प्लॉयमेंट एक बड़ा इशू है आपके लिए?
यस, बहुत बड़ा इशू है एम्प्लॉयमेंट। और एम्प्लॉयमेंट को लेके जैसे दोनों पार्टियां वादे कर रही है, जैसे गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर में हो या फिर किसी भी सेक्टर में हो, वो चीज़ एक बड़ा इशू है हम लोगों के लिए।
इशू है। सर क्या नाम है, आपने अपना वोट कास्ट किया?
हाँ जी।
प्लीज अपनी फिंगर दिखाइए। ओके, क्या इश्यूज रहे आपके, क्या सोचकर आपने मतदान किया था?
मैंने मतदान किया कि राष्ट्र हित में राष्ट्र संकल्पित सिद्ध पुरुष जो अभी राष्ट्र संत है हमारा प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी, हमने उनके विकास कार्यों को बाधित नहीं करने का निर्णय लिया और सोचा कि हम उनको दोबारा से प्रधानमंत्री बनाएं और बना करके भारत के विकास को आगे बढ़ाएं तथा भारत को विश्व गुरु बनवाएं।
ठीक है, विकास के अलावा कोई और ऐसा मुद्दा है जो आपके जहन में आपने सोचकर उसको वोट किया हो?
नहीं,
विकास एक मुद्दा है।
ओनली डेवलपमेंट और विश्व गुरु आत्मनिर्भर भारत।
ठीक है मैम, आपने क्या सोचकर मतदान किया और अपनी प्लीज फिंगर दिखाइए पहले तो। ठीक है, जो लोग आपको देख रहे हैं सुन रहे हैं उनको क्या बोलना चाहेंगी, क्योंकि आज वोटिंग का डे है?
मैं ये बोलना चाहूंगी कि सब लोग निकलकर वोट दें।
वोट दें। क्या सोचकर आपने वोट किया मैम, क्या इशू?
Okay,
विकास के लिए।
Kanika, I'm going to interrupt you. Priyanka Gandhi, who just cast a vote from where you're standing, is speaking. Let's quickly listen into what she's saying.
उसके बारे में कोई चर्चा नहीं हो रही है और लोग उब चुके हैं। लोगों की बहुत समस्याओं का सामना कर रहे हैं रोज।
इंडिया गठबंधन के समर्थन में सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा क्या काम कर रहा है प्रियंका जी? व्हाट इज द बिगेस्ट इशू?
हम सिर्फ जनता के मुद्दों पर बात कर रहे हैं शुरू से। हम सिर्फ जनता के मुद्दों पे पूरा प्रचार कर रहे हैं, पूरा हमारा मैनिफेस्टो है, सब जनता के मुद्दों पे है। यही चल रहा है हमारे, क्योंकि जनता यही चाहती है।
4 जून को इंडिया गठबंधन की सरकार, प्रियंका जी उम्मीद पूरी है?
We are only speaking about the people's issues, and she's mentioned price rise there. Okay, that's the politics of it. Priyanka Gandhi, pretty straightforward. She was asked just a few minutes ago about the irony, and it is an irony, of for the first time ever a Gandhi is having to vote not for a Congress candidate out of the national capital. So let's pick up this conversation. Joining us on the broadcast, Alok Mehta is still with us. Let me also invite Syed Asad Abbas joining us this morning. Charu Pragya, representing the Bharatiya Janata Party. Shivam Bhagat of the Congress is also joining us this morning. Good morning to all of you. Shivam, let me pick this up with you. It is not a small thing that for the first time ever, Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi will not be voting for a Congress candidate, not because they're choosing not to, is because there isn't one.
Well, good morning, Rishabh, and good morning, everyone. Why is there an irony? I think it's the beauty of the festival of democracy that two parties have come together to save democracy, to save the Constitution of India, and to fight against an unjust government. I think it's the beauty of democracy. The mood is very upbeat in our camp. It is clear that that Delhi wants change, and the anti-incumbency against the BJP has been very palpable in Delhi. They changed 6 of their MPs. Why did they change all of those MPs? And the rest of sitting chief ministers. It's been very, very clear to the city and to the country that the BJP is against the constitution and against democracy, and the two parties are coming together. What is the problem in it?
Okay, so from the time of an HKL Bhagat, okay, where there was total dominance of the party, then Sheila Dikshit, dominance of the party in the state elections, in the Lok Sabha elections, in the national capital. How do you see that? How do you see the revival happening? Because the person in your path is not necessarily the BJP; it's also the Aam Aadmi Party.
See, the mood is very upbeat. There's a big swing in favor of the Congress and the India Alliance, but particularly also the Congress, because in the last 5 years, a lot of the constitutional machinery has been attacked by the BJP. It all started with the PMLA that became an act in 2018. And the people are seeing that the BJP is attacking opposition leaders. The price rise is on a high. Unemployment is at the highest in, I think, 5 decades. So the mood is automatically going towards the Congress. The Congress is the default option. People know the development that the Congress has done in the 80s, in the 90s, in the early 2000s till 2014. And people are wanting that. We are going door to door. We're seeing the mood in the capital and in the country. And we know that the people are desiring change.
Okay, in case you're wondering who Priyanka Gandhi was laughing with this morning, that's her daughter, Miraya. So let me get Charu into this conversation. Charu, let me put that point to you. Okay, Robert Vadra speaking this morning. Let's quickly listen in what he's saying.
निकलना चाहिए और वोट डालें और इंडिया गठबंधन को एक मौका दें और प्रगति और देश को प्रगति की ओर के तरफ जाएंगे। वो देश चुनेगी, गठबंधन चुनेगा और मुझे लग रहा है तो गठबंधन चुनेगा और मैं मुझे पता है कि राहुल देश के लिए देश के हित में करेंगे काम और जो राजीव जी का सपना था वो पूरा करेंगे। अरे वहाँ भी है। बोलिए आप एक हाँ
चलो हाँ बात करेंगे रॉबर्ट वाड्रा यहाँ पे रॉबर्ट जी आपने
okay, he's swarmed there and this happens obviously, but he's taken the name of Rahul and Rajiv and of course, he's not contesting from somewhere. There was a bit of a discussion which he only started that he might be contesting a couple of months ago. But all that is moot because, yes, indeed, the same irony applies. And yes, it is ironical because Robert Vadra would also have to vote not for the Congress candidate, but for the Aam Aadmi candidate for want of choice. Let me get Charu back into this conversation. Charuji, let me ask you the obvious question, which the Congress is saying, that they're saying, okay, you have an issue with our alliance. Why have you changed 6 out of your 7 MPs? Why don't they have tickets this time around?
Rishabh, very good morning to you. But let me begin by appealing to the people of Delhi, of India, those who are going for voting today, to please go out and vote. It's both your right and your responsibility. Now, coming back to Delhi, Look at the irony. You're calling it an irony. I'm going to say these are desperate times and they call for desperate measures. The times are so desperate for the grand old party that they cannot even vote for themselves anymore. They had to go and do an alliance with a political party which had a lesser vote share than them in the last elections, which currently holds 0 Lok Sabha members of parliament, and yet they have given this particular political party more seats in their partnership. These are desperate times for the Congress, and this speaks a lot about what's happening in our country when it comes to the opposition, when it comes to the opposition leadership, especially. So even in Delhi, the same thing stands true, the same thing holds true. This time, Bharatiya Janata Party is again going to sweep all 7 seats in New Delhi, and we are not going to do that because of some overconfidence we are showing. We're going to do that on the basis of a fantastic report card of the work that we have done in the last 10 years. We are going to do that on the basis of Modi ki guarantee, of every single promise that we fulfilled in the past and the vision for the future that we are showing the people of India for a Viksit Bharat 2047. So that's the reason, Rishabh. And as for changing our candidate, I believe that that is something which is very logical, which sometimes needs to be done. We have 20 crore members in our political party. How will anybody else?
Okay, so let's also be practical. In some places the candidate matters, but let me be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. In many places, the candidate for the Bharatiya Janata Party is Narendra Modi. So let's be honest about that. But there is a difference here, and the difference let me touch upon with Alok Mehta. Alok Mehta ji, the BJP overall had a vote share of about just under 40%. Okay, so in the entire country, you can argue that if you rally the 60%, okay, you can defeat them. But in Delhi, most of the seats were won with a more than 50-55% vote advantage for the Bharatiya Janata Party. So even if you look at the seat in which 2019, now the late Sheila Dikshit was asked to contest, which she lost, and in that seat she lost to Manoj Tiwari, she got 4.2 lakh votes, but Manoj Tiwari had 8 lakh votes with 54% of the vote share. So even if the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress combined together would not have been enough. But it surely will be a closer fight, Alokji.
Yeah, it's a closer fight, and you are very rightly said. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the face, not only in Delhi but in other places also. The most of the places, people are not very happy with the local leaders, the BJP or Congress or even them. So these that's why I think the leadership always, like Mrs. Gandhi, I always tell, like Nehru. So these kind of leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and now because of the media and all reach. But first, I would like to congratulate you because you started with this. The Gandhi family is a revolution. So certainly, you started this conversation with this. And now, Priyanka Gandhi confirmed that, she is voting for, indirectly, she's not named the Aam Aadmi Party, but what she spoke, she confirmed your version in the beginning.
So,
and that's why
you've drawn the assumption that she has not just voted for Bansuri Swaraj. Yes.
Not, yes, sir. That's all right.
Yes.
That's why it's right. At least we gave, because they can't say that we are prejudiced. That's why I mentioned that, okay, maybe if they want, they can do. But now she confirmed. So, but for her also, the Gandhi family is the face. The JP Agrawal is also very sincere leader in Chandni Chowk. But what happened? Last few years, even from Madhya Pradesh, recently election, he was sent to Madhya Pradesh and Surjewala asked again to go there and they shifted him. But he was humiliated like anything number of years. But because now he's a businessman, he was earlier because of the family background and all, that's why they have compelled to give ticket to him, and it's very difficult for him, even for this age. His son is also vice president and is very dynamic, I think, young generation. But you say they don't want young people like Sachin Pilot, they don't want they come in just keep him, but they want to use the younger generation, Lin or Sachin or anybody. That's the problem of the one more point. Sandeep Dikshit, I used to tell Sheila Dikshit, remember those days in 2014, they started. So I said it will damage because Sandeep Dikshit was closely working with Arvind Kejriwal in NGOs. She said, okay, you have to speak to Sandeep, what I can do. So ultimately it harmed the Sheila Dikshit, the whole party. Now the same thing Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka is doing to damage and destroy the Congress party like this.
Okay, that of course I'm assuming is that in an alliance it hurts the Congress not more. I'll get Shivam to respond to that in just a second. Let me get Syed Asad Abbas into this conversation. Syed Abbas, it is an irony, because if it is not an irony, it is certainly unprecedented. I do not think any of the Gandhis would have ever voted for a non-Congress candidate ever in their lives. They have had to press a different button today. It is to the credit of the Aam Aadmi Party that they've risen in 10 years to this point that they are able to negotiate a larger chunk of the seats with a party like the Congress. So it is to their credit. But surely, it must be a thought somewhere in the back of the mind that how did it come to this?
Well, absolutely, Rishabh Saab. There are no two ways about it. But as the beautiful saying goes, when you do the most common things in life in the most uncommon way, you command the attention of the world, and rightfully so, you brought it. But let me tell you, एक बहुत ही बेहतरीन शेर है, मैं अर्ज करना चाहूँगा. इब्तिदाई सियासत है, रोता है क्या, आगे आगे देख होता है क्या. As a matter of fact, today is absolutely exciting for me, this phase 6. I'll tell you why. 889 candidates, 58 parliamentary constituencies that we are going to look at. Almost we are through 80 to 85%. We are very close to edging at the end of the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. The fact is, I have a very startling figure to share with you and NewsX viewers, and that is more than 39% of the candidates contesting in the 6th phase are all crorepathi's. The average assets that they hold is 6.8 crores. That's a startling figure. This shows that is elections only for the rich of the rich, or is it for the otherwise? This shows how expensive it is to contest elections. Not just that, Rishabh Saab, very exciting battles that we see today. We have Dharmendra Pradhan who's contesting. A very interesting battle between two friends of mine from Bihar, Manoj Tiwari versus Kanhaiya Kumar. Will Manoj Tiwari be a 3-time MP, or is it going to be a surprise with Kanhaiya Kumar? Maneka Gandhi from Sultanpur. Not just that, very interesting battles. As a matter of fact, you raised a point that is not just the member of parliament candidacy here, but a Modi factor.
Yeah.
To me, the Modi factor is the strength and the weakness for the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay.
Strength, because Modi getting the wave. Weakness, over-dependence on Modi. And Tejasvi Surya from my city of Bengaluru South, my constituency, said that Modi ji is a de facto parliamentary candidate on all 543 seats.
But he is.
So this over-dependence of Modi.
I can think of several BJP candidates who would have never have won had it not been for people voting for Modi. Okay. But okay, all right. So let me get Shivam back into this conversation. Shivam, it's not a Congress problem per se, but now you are an alliance. So what is now the situation? Do you think that there are people out there who are really thinking that Arvind Kejriwal, who has always in his entire career accused the Congress of corruption, that today he's a victim?
See, Rishabh, people do not like high-handedness, whether it be from anyone. The BJP has been showing high-handedness for the last 10 years. And we are very, very confident that the capital is going to spring a huge surprise this time, and as parts of the other country, because this dictatorship, this high-handedness is not going down well with the people. We have gone door to door in Delhi, and we are seeing that the people are sick and tired of this kind of behavior, this kind of authoritarianism. People are, the Nyaya guarantees of the Congress are resonating with the people. The other guarantees of the other India Alliance partners are resonating with the voters. This concept of one man, one election, one person is not going down well with the people. And you are going to see a huge surprise on the 4th of June.
Okay, Shivam, I'm sure some thought process went inside, some consideration went on getting in Kanhaiya Kumar. He contested last time from a CPIM ticket from Begusarai, which was his hometown. He's of course famous or infamous, however you look at it, for his politics in JNU, but all were with the left. He was with the left unions. Why did you guys bring him in this time around?
Kanhaiya also, see, the media knows one part of Kanhaiya, or they
okay, in fact he's speaking to us right now. Let's listen into what he's saying.
बात करने के लिए कन्हैया कुमार मौजूद हैं, इनसे पूछेंगे सर आप किस तरीके से देखते हैं, मनोज तिवारी आपके सामने है, टक्कर का मुकाबला है?
नहीं, वो तो जो है टक्कर जो है उनसे यहाँ की जनता ले रही है, हम नहीं ले रहे हैं।
जी 400 पार का नारा लगा रही है भारतीय जनता पार्टी और 7 सीटों पर बोल रहे हैं
पेट्रोल का दाम बता रहे हैं।
7 सीटें जीतने का भी दावा है सर।
हाँ वही, वो 7 सीट जीत जाएंगे तो पेट्रोल 400 रुपये जो है ना लीटर मिलेगा।
जी तो ये थे हमारे साथ कन्हैया कुमार जो नॉर्थ ईस्ट दिल्ली से उम्मीदवार हैं इंडिया अलायंस के और कांग्रेस पार्टी के, जिन्होंने अपनी बात रखी। कैमरा पर्सन गोपाल के साथ मैं
Kanika, my colleague, speaking to Kanhaiya Kumar after he's cast his vote there. He's of course making a mock that 400 is what the BJP says the petrol price will be. Shivam, I'll let you finish. He's a person who's not built his politics from the grassroots in the NSUI. He has gone and he's been a leftist his entire career. Why bringing him in?
See, Kanhaiya, there is a picture that the media paints of Kanhaiya, and there is also a reality. Kanhaiya is actually an amazing orator. He's got great understanding of democracy and, of other facets of politics. And there's a lot of population in Northeast Delhi, so a lot of things had to come together. And I think Kanhaiya is doing exceedingly well. I was down in Northeast Delhi for most part of the election campaigning, and he's resonating with a lot of people. He resonates with a lot of the poor. He comes from a humble background. And I don't see a problem in him contesting from Northeast Delhi, because people are resonating. He comes from a humble background. What is the problem in that?
Okay. Charu, what do you now make of the battle between Manoj Tiwari and Kanhaiya Kumar? Because there is identity politics. Both of you are playing it. That listen, in Delhi there's a migrant population that we want to also touch on or exploit. But at the same time, Manoj Tiwari is the only candidate you haven't changed.
Rishabh, Kanhaiya Kumar is someone who has been tried in the previous Lok Sabha election, and we saw how dismal his performance was. And he'd contested from Begusarai, his hometown, so to say. So the fact is that Congress does lack candidates. Even when they get an opportunity to field someone, they pick someone who is a part of the Tukre Tukre gang, who has never spoken out in a way which is logical or it makes sense, quite honestly. And that's the reason why even 5 years ago, he lost in such a bad way. This time, pitching him against Manoj ji, I think it is more like a media war and not so much of a contest on ground, because Manoj ji has been a very beloved member of parliament in Delhi. His people adore him. He has performed well, and like you rightly said, he's been repeated. And I'm going to maintain this one thing. This trial and error method of the opposition to just pick candidates from here and there and to see that if they don't work in Bihar, they might work in Delhi. It doesn't work like that anymore. To perform in a Lok Sabha election, you need to be performing on ground. You have to be amongst the people. You have to talk about the work you've done in the past. You have to give a vision to the people. And of course, a lot of that also depends on the political party that you're a part of. On all of these grounds, Kanhaiya Kumar will not take any of the boxes.
But the BJP also has a lot of candidates who were previous Congress persons or who came from other parties, okay, and who, the BJP also paradrops in. I think 1/3 of your, or in fact, slightly more than 1/3 of all your candidates, you have dropped your previous MPs and brought in new candidates. So if the Congress does it, why is it a problem?
So here the thing is that the Bharatiya Janata Party is not changing for anyone. Once somebody realizes and believes that they can follow the policy of nation first, they can align with our vision for the nation, they can contribute to that vision. Why not? It's a free country, you're most welcome. It's not like the Congress that somebody will come and sweep in with these new ideas. Congress is actually currently going more left than the left.
Okay, let me get Mr. Abbas into this conversation. Shibam, just coming to you. Mr. Abbas, in a practical sense, the core point of the election, I'm assuming, is about Arvind Kejriwal. Is Arvind Kejriwal perceived as guilty, perceived as innocent, perceived as something dodgy, perceived as something suspicious? Is that what this election is still about?
Absolutely, Rishabh Saab, you've read that right. As a matter of fact, the whole political discourse and narrative of the Aam Aadmi Party is jail ka jawab vote se. Undoubtedly, I've always believed, Rishabh
Mr. Abbas, I'm sorry I'm interrupting you. I'll come straight back to you. Manoj Tiwari now speaking to Kanika right after voting. Let's listen in.
सर, आज आखिरी दिन है, आप वोट कास्ट करने जाए हैं, कन्हैया कुमार सामने है, कितना मुकाबला समझ रहे हैं?
सब तरफ जय श्री राम है।
400 पार का नारा आप लेकर चल रहे हैं, लेकिन कन्हैया कुमार कह रहे हैं कि ये झूठे दावे हैं।
400 पार के लिए दिल्ली 7 सीटें दे रही है।
और आप अपनी जीत को लेकर कितने कॉन्फिडेंट हैं यहाँ पर?
प्रमोद भाई, हम लोग पूरी तरह मैं अपना वोट डालने जा रहा हूँ, डाल के आता हूँ।
हमारे दर्शकों से कोई
We'll get a chance to speak to him in detail, of course, after he's casted vote. This was before he's casting his vote. Sorry, I interrupted you, Mr. Abbas. Go ahead.
No problem, Rishabh sir. I've always believed, I've traveled the length and breadth of Delhi several times in all my experiences that I can tell you one thing. ये बस दिल वालों की दिल्ली नहीं, ये दिमाग वालों की भी दिल्ली है. Very smart pattern. I've read it. I read this beautiful article of a political research scientist who showed the bipolarity of voters when it comes to voting. In the same Delhi Assembly elections, they vote for Arvind Kejriwal by a large majority. But when it comes to Lok Sabha, so the pattern has been 2014, 2019 towards the Modi wave, the Modi factor, the Bharatiya Janata Party. This time, I'm sure to see some dismissals from the Modi group. But nevertheless, the important point which Charu Pragya ji made was, Charu Pragya ji, I have contested elections and I can tell you winning, losing is all a part of the game. Of course, winning is important. But let me tell you, ma'am, गिरते हैं शहसवार मैदान जंग में, वो तिफल क्या गिरे जो घुटनों के बल चले. The fact is contesting is important. Kanhaiya Kumar in one of his interviews said, why did he shift? Begusarai, you're coming all the way here in Delhi. And why did you leave your party CPI and now coming to Congress? He said, when you want to play the game of cricket, you cannot play with a racket. That is why it is important for me to enter a different domain with a different team and play with a cricket bat.
Okay.
So it was a very interesting analogy. Is he trying to say CPI is weak and Congress is
that's
strong?
it. Yeah, well, we can argue it both ways. I think the Shero Shairi is being picked up by Syed Abbas is reminding me of a politician who's also served in all political parties. He was in the BJP, then he was in the Congress, and now he's back doing cricket commentary. Okay, so Shivam, you wanted to make a point. Go ahead, make your interjection. Then I want to rope in Alokji. Shivam, go ahead.
I wanted to respond to Charu. She said that Kanhaiya performed really badly last time. But if Kanhaiya performed badly and your MPs performed very well, then why have all of them been changed? You have obviously got a report back from the ground that your MPs have performed extremely badly, and that's why you have new faces. And coming to the vision, what kind of vision is the Prime Minister showing? The Prime Minister is only talking about Mangal Sutra and Bhaise and all kind of absurd stuff. What kind of vision is the Prime Minister?
But there is a core point to this as well, Shivam. Then what is the party's position on the cases against Arvind Kejriwal? Do you think he's innocent?
See, our party's position from the very beginning is that we have been against the timing of the arrest. The cases are sub judice. The court is going to decide what is going to happen. But we have been against the timing of this arrest. And this timing has gone very, very badly against the BJP. The timing went badly against the BJP, and then subsequently the Supreme Court bail has also gone against the BJP. And the tension is the nervousness is very palpable because of the kind of remarks coming from the Prime Minister are showing all of that.
Okay, now I know the party doesn't take a position on this, Shivam, but for the past, Arvind Kejriwal has had 1 week to campaign effectively. And in that 1 week, all the conversation has been about is Swati Malewal. She just cast her vote. Has that hijacked the campaign a bit?
That is for the Aam Aadmi Party to tell you. But I feel it has not hijacked the campaign. The issues on the ground are very different. People are not looking at what is playing in the media. People are looking at the unemployment. People are looking at the lack of jobs, the high prices, inflation. Those are the real issues for the people. What is happening and playing out in the media is not what the people are looking at.
Let me get Alok Mehta into this. Alokji, some of the big cities, Bangalore certainly being one of them, Delhi being one of them, Bombay being one of them, as they become more and more cosmopolitan. Delhi has, populations from all over the country now, who are native residents and therefore now are voters in Delhi, which is why you are seeing candidates, who are, one of course is a Bhojpuri star, the other is known from his politics as a leader from Bihar. They are contestants in Delhi because they reflect in an immigrant community which is risen in Delhi as well. How much is then Delhi distilling the politics of the country when it tells you that, look, we prefer a party in the state and prefer a different party potentially in the past at the center?
So I think the metropolitan cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, people are more aware and they want something more, because middle class or upper class also. You see the professionals, even they have the package of 1 crore in a year. Even they think that, okay, we should get more relief in the income tax and all. So it was very mixed. And you are rightly said, Bihari, UP, and South Indian also. I think Rishabh, you must be aware that Nirmala Sitharaman also campaigned for Bansuri and other people, because the South Indian population is also in New Delhi. It's also a
South Indian population, Bengali population.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bengali.
it is a smorgasbord, yes.
Yeah, almost even sometimes people who are talking 20 lakhs also, even the Bengali, or more than that. I don't recall all the numbers. So these kind of mixed population. So, but they want a national leadership, and that's why it give impact. Even for other party, opposition also, they give for Congress or the BJP or other party. But I think for the national election, Lok Sabha elections, in such cities, you will get mixed results. But again, I will mention, like London, I think in India also, in the big cities, professionals, they are voting less because expectation is high, and expectation is high every time. They want more. Poor people also want more. This is a problem for any political party.
Okay, so let me flip the question around. Charuji, obviously the Congress has had troubles ever since the Aam Aadmi Party came out and defeated Sheila Dikshit, but it's not like the BJP hasn't had its troubles also. You've had troubles in Delhi in the BJP for almost 4 decades. Why is it that the party hasn't gotten its act together in Delhi, that the Aam Aadmi Party dominates local politics here?
Yes, you're right, Rishabh. We have not been able to win a sufficient number of seats in Delhi. That is a fact. Earlier it was the Congress, now it is the Aam Aadmi Party. But the situation in Delhi is really not as simple as that. The situation in Delhi is that the Aam Aadmi Party stands completely exposed, so much so that the Chief Minister was not merely behind bars for a liquor scam, but the minute he's come out, he's gotten himself involved in yet another crazy controversy, and it doesn't end. So he's been out of jail on one condition, that was of not speaking about the liquor scam, but he has gone and done exactly that. He has been in contempt of court. And then adding to that, I don't see him campaigning in a positive way at all. And Congress is supporting all of this. So it is really, really confusing which side they stand on. The selectivism in calling out corruption, even though Congress was the political party that went and complained initially against the Aam Aadmi Party. And now again, this selectivism in calling out assault against a woman who was the only Rajya Sabha MP Aam Aadmi Party sent. So it's really ironic, and I think the people of Delhi now understand all of these dynamics, and that is one more reason that they're going to get even a lesser vote share than they did last time. Let's remember that in Delhi in 2019, Bharatiya Janata Party won with a vote share of 57%, which is far greater than the vote share of Congress and AAP put together.
Okay.
Can I quickly respond?
Yeah, Shivam, go ahead. Syed, just stay with me. Shivam, I want to bring you in on this, because again, just on the pure mathematics, there is a BJP dominance, and it might not be because of the local MPs. It might not have been that people voted for a Gautam Gambhir or a Meenakshi Lekhi, that they voted for a Narendra Modi, and that's an important factor. Why do you feel that Rahul Gandhi does not invoke the same kind of national vote?
I think Rahul Gandhi has done exceedingly well this time. His Nyaya guarantees and his attacks on the Prime Minister have really worked with the public. It is, and you're going to see the result of that on the 4th of June. The Congress has been down on the ground. Congress has shared a vision for the public. Where is the Prime Minister sharing a vision? No one else has shared a vision for the public as much as Rahul Gandhi has shared this time. The kind of guarantees that he has given to the public. Where has the Prime Minister shown all this? The Prime Minister has only attacked the opposition on very, very silly issues. He has not shared his own achievements that he says that are plenty. He's shown nothing, the Prime Minister, this time. And I think Rahul Gandhi has done a fantastic job. Okay. And the People's Court will decide and show you on the 4th of June.
Okay, of course, the BJP argues that we are the ones who came up with the concept of a guarantee, and everybody else, including Arvind Kejriwal and the Congress, copied it. Syed Abbas wants to make a point. Mr. Abbas, go ahead.
Charuji mentioned about Arvind Kejriwal. Well, the matter is in the court. He's not been convicted by the Delhi High Court or the Supreme Court. Law will take its course. Also, if we speak of corruption, ma'am, we also need to look at many of the allies that you've brought in your party. The fact is, Janardhan Reddy, 70,000 mining crore scam, he comes from my state of Karnataka. He's now your ally. Not just him, I can give you a very long list. Ajit Pawar that you mentioned, thousands of crores scam, Chakki piecing and piecing from the naturally corrupt party is now your ally.
Okay, so let me form that into a question. So let me form that into a question. Charu Pragya, 10 years ago, okay, the CWG scandal, okay, was the biggest of them all right? Suresh Kalmadi, all sorts of allegations. Allegations were made against Sandeep Dixit also, Sheila Dixit also. Nothing happened. I mean, we heard nothing of the convictions. All the 2G guys came back, became members of parliament. It is a serious issue, ma'am. Why is there such poor conviction rate? I mean, literally after Lalu Prasad Yadav and Jayalalitha, we can't think of senior politicians convicted, and you've had 10 years in government.
Rishabh, I'm in agreement with you. It is time for strong judicial reforms, and we're going to do that. I have a lot of faith in Modi 3.0. Judicial reforms are needed because there are thousands of pending cases, not thousands actually, the number runs into lakhs. There are times we have seen that civil cases, even criminal cases, can run into decades, and that is something that needs to change. The important thing here is that no clean chit has been given to anyone. The important thing here is that even if the investigation takes long, our agencies are doing a fine job. The only thing is we have to fast track certain things, and we're on the track of doing that.
Okay. Can I quickly counter that?
Quickly, Mr. Abbas, yes.
If you see the Indian Express report, very interestingly, over the last 10 years, 2014 to 2024, 25 of the opposition leaders who had CBI, ED, IT cases against them joined the Bharatiya Janata Party, which is quite surprising. The same leaders with Charu Pragya ji and all Congress, the Bajpa spokesperson said, are all corrupt, but they are all in your party. Not just that. Last point, Rishabh sir.
But the ultimate irony of Arvind Kejriwal running the India Against Corruption campaign against the UPA. I remember at the airport, all the UPA ministers going to meet him and Anna Hazare, and now being an ally. So if you say the BJP is full of ironies, surely, Mr. Abbas, that's an irony also.
Yes, but 95% of ED cases today are all against opposition, Rishabh Saab. 95%. I'd like to know from Charu ji, is Bhajpa today a washing machine? दूध सी सफेदी भाजपा में आई, भ्रष्ट नेता भी लिए और धुल जाए.
Okay. Let me. There's no end to this, so let me put it this way. Okay, let's not kid ourselves. There were Congress home ministers who tried everything possible to go after the current prime minister, the current home minister. Okay. So let's not kid ourselves. If there is persecution, caged parrot, caged parrot. We've heard this all before. Okay, caged parrot. We've heard all this before.
5% conviction rate. Sorry.
Okay, but why the 5%? Why the 5% conviction rate is the question I put, and she says judicial reform is required. Okay.
0.5%.
Okay, let me leave the last word with Alok Mehta. Alok Mehta, this is of course a perceptorial conversation that we are having in our studios. Are you seeing a dramatic pulse change as we move around and speak to people in Delhi? Has this issue of this Kejriwal arrest been a game changer, one way or the other?
Certainly, Kejriwal, this issue and the Maliwali issue also is going to affect the whole, change the situation. If they get sympathy in a big way, what they have, and they have the very organized party in that sense. Aam Aadmi Party, Rishabh ji, in different areas, in the poor localities, they ask the people to sign. They will get 1,000 rupees when they will win. So these kind of signature campaign and the forms they have fulfilled by the poor people in the societies. I don't know how the people will work. A woman will vote for them, and especially for the minorities. So Aam Aadmi Party and Congress Party aggressively tried their best in those areas where they can win over the vote through these kind of promise or the commitment, like, because if you give in the writing, they ask you just fill up this form and you will get just the win, and you will get the money.
Okay. Whether that is a commitment in terms of developmental promises, because parties are committing 1 lakh rupees, forget 1,000 rupees these days in terms of developmental promises. Okay.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.